public sector is not generating employment. Who is the largest employment generator of the world? The Indian Railway. Indian Railway is the public sector.
Yeah.
Okay. Now coming coming to this efficiency or all other things that will come. See, number one is that with this propaganda for the last 3 decades, the share of contribution of public sector in GDP is not reduced, and the share of contribution in the private sector of the private sector in GDP has not increased. Number one. Number two, if you see last 5 years, 2 lakh private companies, 2,04,000 private companies have been closed. Number two. Number three, there is no enhancement in productivity. The productivity of India is falling. So with all big talks about the private investment, the productivity is not coming. It is not growing up. Number four, if you see the private sector, the much larger the volume of capital, the less is the employment. Capital employment ratio, if you see, because with a much larger volume of capital, actually the technology oriented nature of the production increases. It becomes more mechanized. So the employment always reduces in large capital. So given the condition of the employment generation, it doesn't have any link with that. The private sector, big private company will come and it will create employment. What happens that if the big capital comes, it creates new technology, it creates new forms of production and innovation that you rightly said. In India, public sectors were the best innovators. Best innovators, I am telling you that even the spacecraft that went to moon, no, that was also, if you see that was also developed by public sector. Indian public sectors were the best innovators, but they were planned to be killed, okay, by the state itself, because they wanted that when the public sector was established, the idea was that India needs to be strengthened enough to have its own infrastructure, own technology, own form of production, so to compete with the other global players. At the same time, the Indian capitalist class was weak, so they were not ready to go for investment. Now what they are doing, they want to have the Indian establishment, Indian public sector to be finished, so that they can take over the market. So it is about paving the path of private capital. It is not about the efficiency of the public sector. At the same time, you must keep it in mind that even the RBI is telling that no investment is coming in the private sector. Why it is so? Because given the speculative nature of the current stage of capitalism. In the current stage of capitalism, finance being invested where the rate of return is high. The rate of return is high in a speculative market. So if government has given, I think 15 lakh crore way above of the public sector loan, public sector banks loan to the private sector. So this waiving of also not encouraging them to invest. Government has given 1 lakh crore employment link incentive. Government has given various production link incentives. Then also private sector, they are taking the money, investing it in the speculative market. They are not about innovating. They are about the only thing capital is interested of more return out of its investment. So they don't bother about Indian sovereign capacity of production, development, infrastructure, innovation. Only public sector. Only public sector. And lastly, I will tell that the idea of profit is wrong when we are talking about the role of public sector. The public sector was to build the nation. So an engineer of the nation, the mechanic of the nation, the idea was that its work, his work, her work will develop the capacity of India's nation. with the new advent of neoliberalism, you brought in all the sheets like balance sheets, and you started calculating that which public sector is giving how much money. I can tell every year government of India is taking more than 5 lakh crore, 5 lakh crore from public sector as dividend. So public sector directly, indirectly, tertiary way, it is actually still now the backbone of India's economy and society.